With 4 qualifying heats completed, who'll join Mace, Mortis, Behemoth and Napalm in the first of our series semi-finals? There's everything to fight for. There's everything to lose. There's everything on Robot Wars.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the man with a rapid-fire tongue, Craig Charles.
When I was a kid at school, swapping bubblegum and bodily noises behind the bike sheds, things were simple. We thought a Tamagotchi was a disease you caught on holiday. But times have changed. Long gone are the days of pea shooters and catapults. These days, no self-respecting school kid would leave home without a 3,000 revs per minute industrial chainsaw welded onto the back of a robot. For these are the days of Robot Wars. And to prove it, 6 robotic bullies are going to fight for a place in our series semi-finals. Let's have a look at them.
First, from Huddersfield, Spin Doctor.
Named by the university student team because it can spin on the spot. It took 4 months to build. The second lightest in the heat at 66.6 kilos. The main danger will come from the 20-inch rear chainsaw and snowplow.
From Norwich, Pain.
Tonight's slowest spot, the brainchild of 2 RAF pilots who built Pain from parts gleaned from an uncle's farm. The motors come from windscreen wipers. It has chainsaw-driven cutting blades, and the front spike can punch through a 4mm aluminium deck plate.
From Bromley in Kent, Killertron.
Seeded 4th for this series, grand finalists from First Wars, driven by an aircraft fitter and an engineer. The pickaxe is the same as last year. The shell is orange, not pink this time round, made of a modified wheelie bin lid.
From Bournemouth, Technophobic.
It took just 4 working weeks to build out of bits and bobs from around the workshop. It cost up to £1,000. A lawnmower engine drives 2 motors. It's the heaviest in the heat. The 9-inch steel cutting disc weapon could look a little flimsy if Sir Killerlot's about.
From Darwin in Lancashire, Schumey.
Looks like a black coffin lid to bring doom and gloom to opponents. Engineer Pocock and fitter Turnbull are Formula 1 fans. That's why they've named Schumey after the great Michael Schumacher. It's nippy at 30 miles an hour.
From Bicester in Oxfordshire, ORAC.
Peter Reynolds has built a kit car before. This looks like a kit cart, but the 2 12-inch hardened steel front chisels and 9-inch cutting disc, powered by 2 electric car window motors, could make ORAC more than a bit part player. Back to you, Craig.
There's a time for living, there's a time for loving, there's a time for showing off your oh-so-impressive statistics. But now it's crunch time. In the face of our 3 rounds, the gauntlet.
This is the gauntlet, time to run that perilous journey down to the end zone. But this week, we've added to the fun by adding a medieval pendulum with spikes designed to impale any robot that lingers too long about its task. Also, to add to your entertainment and with a point to make with his pickaxe, it's Shunt. With his arms open wide in welcome, there's Dead Metal. And always ready to play a few games or 2, especially with the odd small robots, a Killerlot.
Robot ears, stand by.
First up, Killertron. They've been in wars before.
Activate.
Killertron just has 2.93 meters to beat to eliminate Barry. It's done that with that awful fluorescent pink and the dreadful pickaxe. Drivers Abdul and Richard with that sort of weaponry and colouring. I'd go and see a psychiatrist if I was you.
It's nice to see it's not pink anymore.
Yeah.
You like the pink?
I like pink. Oh. Just that you bought the wrong colour.
Who bought the wrong colour?
I bought the wrong paint, so it went orange.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
So Killertron moves slowly towards that seesaw ramp. £300 it cost last year, £200 on top this year, and off the ramp and into trouble because Shunt is there. Oh, pickaxe to pickaxe, and look at the damage created here by Killertron. Richard's loving that one. Well, really getting stuck in. Look at this. Pick, pop. Oh, in comes the circular saw though. Danger here for Killertron, slicing down to that wheelie bin lid. That That's the dead metal camera we've been seeing. With the rhythm of a metronome. Killertron, has it got far enough down the course? Will it survive this sustained damage? Batter, batter! Kill and clatter!
Killertron team, come to the podium. Well. It was more like the pickaxe challenge, wasn't it?
That was great fun.
It was a right good battle, wasn't it?
That was really great fun. I enjoyed that. I can't wait till next time.
Give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Ian and Dan Abdul controlling the pickaxe. Killertron, it was tremendous, wasn't it? 10.3 metres, that's a good run.
Robot ears, stand by.
Schumey, driven by John Turnbull.
Brute force and ignorance is how you've described your armoury.
right, yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't think that's going to be enough for the gauntlet.
It has to be enough. It just has to be. That's all we've got.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
John Turnbull, guided by his captain, John Pocock. Well, this is a Formula One speedy start. Until then, it wasn't a chicane they hit. It was the seesaw battery switch on or off or get it on and get moving. Because Sir Killerlot's behind you. Imagine getting a poke up the backside from him. And there's the pickaxe of Shunt. They can't get any grip. They're wedged in there between the seesaw and the awesome tank trap. Picked up, flicked over, Schumey! Plucked into the air. Oh, and no further.
Schumey team, come to the podium. Well, my dad used to always say to me, too much speed, not enough haste. You came rattling out.
That was a plan.
Well, didn't it?
Yeah, it went really well, but like too much speed, didn't have the control.
No.
Fell off the seesaw, and then
It went pear-shaped after that.
I don't know if you've done enough to get through. You might have done. You got fairly far.
Yeah.
Give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Great start by Schumey, then they faded. But 7.3 metres. That could still be difficult to beat.
Robot ears, stand by.
We are the Oracles. This is our robot ORAC. We have chisels at the front, wheelchair technology, and a circular cutting disc at the rear.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
ORAC, driven by Peter Reynolds. Teammates Barry Davis and Jason Wright. He was once locked out of his flat in the pouring rain, only wearing boxer shorts. You want to take on Shunt with boxer shorts on? And that's a great run by ORAC. They're through. Tremendous stuff.
Come up to the podium. That was some fantastic roboteering. I mean, the way you gave the two house robots the slip there in the end to get into the end zone. How do you think it went for you?
We lost a bit of grip on the ramp, but we got past the house robots at the end, so good.
Yeah, I thought you didn't have enough power. Was it just the grip, was it?
Grip, it was spinning on the wheels, so...
Put you through to the end zone, you're through to the next round. Well done, lads. Give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Tremendous run by ORAC, completing the course. Fastest so far, of course. Well done.
Payne's not like any other robot in Robot Wars. We've got this, our kinetic stabber. Goes from the horizontal up to about 80 degrees of elevation, squirt of oxygen, squirt of fuel, spark in the back, banag, hardened steel bolt, and it does this to anybody that happens to get in the way.
Robot ears, stand by.
Payne is next up. John Witt. There's a problem. They're calling for a second start.
We've had a complete nightmare. All our electronics died, so we bodged up something so we can at least drive around.
Yeah, we've lost the kinetic stabber, which was going to be our weapon, and unfortunately we're without it.
Have you got any hope at all?
No, not at all. We've resigned ourselves to the do better next year suicide approach.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Here we go then. No, we don't. The Payne in the main is heading down the drain, I think. They can't get it started.
Oh, yes.
What do you reckon?
I can see what's wrong in there. Yes, it's your...
The jobby.
Do what?
The dilithium crystal's come loose, unfortunately, I think. Yeah, the phaser gun is slightly loose. Oh well, we'll get it fixed in a moment.
You've got about 5 minutes to get it fixed, so I think it's a cool...
That's 5 moments.
The RAF pilots can't get off the ground, for now.
Robot ears, stand by.
And while they're being given another chance, this is Technophobic.
The robot's driven by a petrol motor. This drives a hydraulic pump split between two sets of valves driving hydraulic motors. The wheels are chained together in pairs. This gives us good power and good turning ability.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Mark Green, Mike Allen and David Hayward all work together with an engineering plant. That's a good run at the start, beyond the spikes and up over the seesaw, already into dead metal. This will test the frame of Technophobic. Oh! But the cutting disc doesn't seem to be working. In comes Shunt with a pickaxe. But dead metal seems to have a problem there with the cutting disc. Oh, look at that! Slicing through the shell of Technophobic. Can it withstand the pressure? Still motoring, though. This is a good run into dead metal. But that's a tremendous run by Technophobic to get that far. Look at the pickaxe problem. But no cutting disc. Good run, though, by Technophobic. 11.3 metres. That puts them second so far.
There's still one robot that we may not see in the gauntlet at all. They've been on briefly, but straight back off again, and they're still not ready to go back on. The Pain team might not make it into the arena at all.
Roboteers, stand by.
So Spin Doctor comes to the starting grid.
Could you fit through half the paths in there?
We're a bit limited on which way we can go. We think we're going to have to take on the big boy at the end.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Peter and Phil Duncanson, cousins, and Martin Griffin, they cut the team. An immediate steering problem. Which way should we go, lads? I'll tell you what, let's go back into the starting rig. Let's go home. No, let's go left. Let's take on the ram rig. We'll have to get past that. Not this way. Circular saws lie here, down just out of the bottom of your picture. Are they going to get you? I think probably, yes. This is called Circular Lot. He's a nice chap. He'll rip you apart, shred you, spit you out, and whatever's left goes to the circular saws. Oh, boys, not too far. Time's running out.
Spin Doctor team, go to the podium. Have you been drinking?
Yeah, actually.
It was like drink driving, that was. He seemed to get a bit confused. He didn't seem to know quite which...
It was really dodgy on the controls, and we're just too wide. We can't fit down there, and we were very limited in what we could do, really.
All right, guys, I don't know if you've done enough to qualify for the next round, but give them a round of applause.
Peter Duncanson says he likes walking his dog. Stick to it, Peter. Only 3.8 metres the worst so far. You'll have to rely on pain, not making it.
I'm gutted. I think that sums it up. But hopefully, you never know, someone else might make a bigger boob than we've got.
They have! Pain made the boob! They've had to retire, and that means Spin Doctor goes through. Just Pain out.
It's the Glum twins. So you had to retire. What forced you finally?
Lack of motion was a bit of a major factor, to be honest. In fact, lack of anything. It's, yeah, we've lost all the electrics. We've been trying to patch it together. It's not working, so that's it. We can't even go out there and get torn apart.
It has been a bit of a pain, hasn't it?
Yeah, you should be on the radio with jokes like that.
Yeah.
Oh, telly.
Well, you show an Englishman a queue and he'll stand in it. Save him cold soup and he'll never complain, unless it's gazpacho. But threaten his home and expect to be on the receiving end of a very large bat. Now, in King of the Castle, each of our competing robots is going to try and defend his castle against attack from the house robots. Whoever puts up the worst performance will be evicted from the competition. Now, Dead Metal and Shunt are going to attempt a forced entry, and Killertron's in the middle, home alone. And I'm in the wrong place at the wrong time. Let the trials begin.
Roboteers, stand by.
Richard Broad with Killertron.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
He's an aircraft fitter by trade. Doesn't want to fly around that ring, though. There's the pickaxe. To counter Dead Metal's grinding wheel, and the pincers forcing him back and back. Good spin. Killertron powering down to stay in that ring. In comes Shunt. Well, they're avoiding damage at the moment. There's a little bit of damage, though, on Killertron. And the pickaxe of Shunt comes in. Killertron flicked up towards the edge of the circle. But digging in, clinging on here to Dead Metal to save himself as time ticks down. I think they're going to survive. Killertron surviving.
Killertron team, come up onto the podium. Well Well, how do you think that went?
Oh, that was so scary. But really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, I think you gave a good account of yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, it was more driving than pickaxe, but...
Well, do you think you're going to make it through to the next round?
I think so. I think we will.
What were you saying?
Piece of cake.
Piece of cake. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, give them a round of applause. There's a piece of cake. There's a piece of cake with nuts in, I'll tell you that.
And house robots love that in their diet. Killertron surviving, though, staying on long enough.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Driver Peter Reynolds with ORAC, Matilda here, substituting for dead metal, and Shunt might have a problem as well. Dreadful driving. Tilda tusks ORAC, spins him around. Some dreadful dance by Matilda. What goes through her brain? They want ORAC gone. Matilda has a gleam in her eyes. Drags ORAC towards oblivion. Clinging on just, but gone.
Matilda is delighted. Look at Matilda. All right, boys, come up to the podium. Well, it feels as though you built it with a high centre of gravity, and she could just get in and flip you over. It looks like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'll try better next time, I think.
How do you think it went for you? I mean, do you expect it to be bashed, or...?
Average, we're pretty light, so we can move us around pretty easily.
Yeah, never mind, lads. I don't know if you've done enough to get through. We'll have to wait and see. Give them a round of applause.
ORAC waltzing its way to 28.95 seconds with Matilda. Could be enough.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Schumey will use its pace to get away from Shunt, and Matilda, oh, it's gone too far towards the edge of the ring. Surely that's suicide. Tilda's in there. It'll only take a nudge. It's suicide from Schumey. Disastrous. Shot its bolt too early. And drove itself off the edge. Only 9.4 seconds for Schumey. Ooh, not enough, surely.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Spin Doctor. Oh, spinning, quite literally. In that centre circle, Matilda doesn't know what to do. Shunt here at the bottom of your picture. Now, what can the house robots do? Shunt's gone again. And Matilda's in problems here from Spin Doctor. Oh, and look at Matilda. The tusks raised in anger, in frustration, in for another battering. Matilda's lost her tusk. She's toothless. History is made. The titanium tusk is battered and broken and off. A visit to the dentist needed. Spin Doctor go through. Tremendous stuff. Survived and did damage.
Well. I mean, such an unusual design. It just spins around.
Well, it does other stuff as well, but that's the most effective way of dealing with this particular configuration.
I mean, very effective. Matilda's had some serious damage done to it. Well done, you're through to the next round. Give them a round of applause.
Spin Doctor strongest so far, and this is a lovely sight coming up if you've ever had a date with Matilda. Go to the dentist, Tilda, and get it fixed. Don't fuss. There you are, Spin Doctor top. Technophobic to come. Schumey looks in danger.
Robot ears, stand by.
Only Technophobic to come.
Flying knives, lifter on the front, armed body.
You're going to need every bit of it when those robots come for you.
I know this now.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
82.2 kilos, again attacking Matilda. She's been to the orthobotics. Got those tusks back. The cutting blade's not really effective. That's a good surge, though. Avoiding Matilda and Shunt. Trying to pressurize Technophobic, lifting Technophobic. Matilda now, of course, is furious. And who would want to get on the wrong side of Matilda? But this is a good brave run by Technophobic. Staying on in there, holding on in there, flipped up, Shunt comes in and finally going over the edge and taking Tilda with her.
6.
Technophobic, come up onto the podium. Well, guys, how do you think that went?
Well, I thought. We got one off.
Yeah, you took one down. You definitely took one with you.
One's all right.
And you hung on for quite a while as well, didn't you?
Yeah, gave him a good run.
Ladies and gentlemen, give them a round of applause.
Oh, but look at Matilda. Almost feel sorry for her.
Matilda won't be waltzing for a while.
Till I see a glycerine tear from that eye. Anyway, Technophobic are through, 35.95 seconds. Schumey, though, they're out.
Currently, they're wrenching a tyre from Matilda's behind. How do you feel about that?
Very good.
Made up.
Yes, made up from the last one. Very pleased. Very pleased indeed.
There's a horrendous stench of petrol coming from here, isn't there?
Dave. That's me.
So the story from the pits is that, sadly, Schumey is out. How do you feel, guys?
Not too disappointed, thoroughly enjoyed ourselves.
Yeah, John?
Not so bad, not so bad. But I think the challenge we got here in the first place.
In a world where money talks, it's nice to know that brute strength and ignorance talks even louder. Now, our 4 surviving robots have been randomly drawn in battle against each other. The winners will then fight for a place in our series semi-finals. Now, to win, all you've got to do is completely obliterate the opponent, or at least immobilise them. Now, if there's no clear-cut winner, a decision will be made by our panel of judges. They'll be looking at style, control, damage, and aggression. It's the usual panel of judges. So, hey, come on, put 'em up, put 'em up!
The first semi-final, Killertron against ORAC.
Are you worried about facing that axe of Killertrons? Because it can get you from any angle, almost.
We're quite agile. I think we can avoid it.
And what are you going to get him back with?
The cutter on the back and go for the wheels with the chisels.
What's this made of?
It's actually a wheelie bin lid. Impact plastic. It's very strong.
Well known
Yeah.
for being good against angle grinders. Wheelie bin lids.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Killertron, seeded 4th for Robot Wars, the favourite for this semi-final, against the lighter and slower ORAC. A bump for Killertron. As the pickaxe came down, they'll avoid the PPZ, of course, because our house robots patrol in there. ORAC seems spiked. Can Peter Reynolds drive him off those spikes? I don't think so. It looks to me as if the chain's gone. The drive chain's gone. In comes Sergeant Bass with the flame, and now ORAC really in trouble. From the pickaxe of Killertron. Also Matilda in there. Char-broiled ORAC. Up in flames. Up in smoke, the hopes and dreams. A horrible smell fills the arena. The stench of defeat and despondency. Another hat from the pickaxe. Look at the holes. Not wholesome fun for ORAC. And they know they're beaten.
Killertron, come on to the podium!
Well, mate, it all seemed to go seriously wrong.
Something went, not sure what. We've had a blowout somewhere.
Yeah, he's still on fire now. Have you enjoyed it on Robot Wars?
Brilliant. We'll be back next year.
You'll be back next year, never mind, lads. Well,
That's great. We had a little bit of interference on the controls here for some reason.
The pickaxe has just activated on its own. I was thinking, what the...
I thought it was quite a brave manoeuvre when you drove yourself over the flames as well as ORAC.
I was trying to pull him off, but we just didn't have the go to do it, and he was well stuck on the flames.
Ladies and gentlemen, give them a round of applause.
The grand finalists from the last series look strong. Killertron.
Talk me through it.
No tyres left. I don't know what went wrong with it. It just stopped working for some reason. I don't know why. We'll have to have a look later on, but it completely burned its toast.
And it was because of this. We know what went wrong. The drive chain broke, immobilised and out. The second semi-final, Technophobic against Spin Doctor.
So how do these work? Just as you spin, they fly around and whack them.
Yeah, basically.
It's not too complicated, is it?
It's all about speed.
Yeah.
It's all about speed. We're very quick off the mark.
We've modified our weapons and taken
So you're going to go as speedy as you can at the very beginning.
We've got to catch them before they start spinning.
See, I love it when we know the plan, because it never goes to plan. So when we know the plan, we can watch and go, I knew it wouldn't work.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
And those spinning flails on the Spin Doctor are a modification added tonight. Here they flail. Technophobic, quite wise to dance away. Don't forget, style and control important with the judges, and damage inflicted on your opponent and aggression. Again, Spin Doctor rotates on that zero turning circle. Can get up to speeds of 17 miles an hour. In comes Technophobic. by far the heavier of the two.
Who would you rather fight against, the Spin Doctor or Technophobic?
Yeah, definitely Technophobic, I think.
Yeah.
Although I don't think any of them would prove too much of a problem.
Spin Doctor just slowing there a little. Technophobic moving comfortably. But I think they've got a problem. I think there's a lick of flame underneath Technophobic. Is a problem there. You can see the sparks. For Technophobic, that flame will not help. They're in problems here. Spin Doctor's immobilised, it seems, but Technophobic's on fire. The PA announcer's calling for the fire brigade to put it out. One robot on fire and the other immobilised. Who will the judges go for here? The key moments. Technophobic getting under Spin Doctor. There goes the flail. This is the most dangerous tactic it has, but very, very even at the end, of course.
The judge's decision's just come in, and it's gone to Technophobic because of aggression and damage. Give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, lads. Good lucky Spin Doctor.
How bad was that fire?
It's nothing. It's just a little bit of plastic.
That was it?
That was it. That's the only thing that was
hold
on fire.
What is this the lid to, though?
The petrol tank.
The final. Killertron the favourite against Technophobic. And can the underdog upset the apple cart and beat Killertron?
Can you win a final of Robot Wars?
We could try.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
What tactics will they use? They're heavier than Killertron. Killertron is the faster and has the deadly weapon. Good style, though, by Technophobic. Avoiding Richard Broad and that killer pickaxe coming in again. Once again, they've avoided the blow. All but run into dead metal, very nearly. Still, Killertron can't get in the blow. Wildly swinging through the air. Now Technophobic's made itself slightly vulnerable. Killertron backs away for a surge. Technophobic, a half-hearted run at Killertron, pushing him back and back and back. All back towards the pit. Technophobic. I hope it's not claustrophobic or arachnophobic. There are spiders down there. It's dark, it's gloomy, and you're going down! Killertron the winner! Technophobic, totaled and obliterated.
Cease.
And the winner is Killertron, yes! Come up to the podium, fellas! Come up to the podium! Well, you guys, you were in the final of the last war, weren't you?
Yeah, we sure were.
How do you think that one went for you?
Oh, that was brilliant. We really enjoyed that, and that went swell. It went just our way.
I heard you saying push them into the pit.
That's right, yeah. Push, keep pushing, I said to him.
What's wrong with your axe?
Well, one way it'll work, and the other way it won't. I think it's out of alignment.
Well, you can modify it for the next fight. Ladies and gentlemen, give them a round of applause. Well, we break health and safety laws. We're on fire. We're Robot Wars. Good night.
How was that for you then, kid?
Pitiful.